there and welcome back, where I want to talk to you about the song Baby by the Peggies, which has got its video just come out and is going to be on their best of album MMY coming out in September, and that will also signify, along with their final tour, them going on indefinite hiatus. And I really hate that phrase, indefinite hiatus, because it usually means that by the end of it, the members find other things to do. It's just them leaving the door open, saying we still like each other whilst effectively going away. So I'm hopeful, but who knows. Anyway, this is a group who I really fell in love with when I first heard them with the song Love Trip, which I just thought was very stripped back and simple in the way that we got a lot of Japanese bands, in the same way there's a lot of heavy Japanese bands at the moment, all with female bands. There's a lot of these bands like Peggies, Lucy 2, obviously previously Silent Siren, these bands who are doing that sort of more poppy thing as well. Now, a lot of them do have a fairly stripped back sound, but I was quite surprised just how much personality Peggies had in their sound. And then I heard after that Love in the Tokyo, so Love Trip, then Love in the Tokyo, and those two songs really stood out for me for the fact that they were both quite different and yet both quite simple. The fact that they were both fairly easy to get into and yet both had distinct personality and impact. Now, since then we covered more of their songs that came out more recently, and I would say that the Peggies as a band, they always felt that they were trying to develop, trying to do something more, trying to write with more maturity, trying to grow up with their sound. But I always felt that it was hard to find any Peggies songs that really had the same impact that those two initial songs had. For me, at least, those are the two first ones I heard. And that's a very difficult thing to say, because when you listen to a band like this, especially someone like myself who always prioritizes songwriting as being the greatest skill, the greatest attainment above even musicianship, I find it very difficult to say about a band like this, hey, you were better before you started being more ambitious. And it's not like their newer songs were bad, but I always found myself replaying those old songs more. So when we come around to the song Baby, this is kind of an interesting one. Now, as the name probably alludes, this song takes me straight back to the feeling that I had with those earlier songs like Love in the Tokyo, like Love Trip, but it's not just a rehash. It's not just them going, hey, we're doing a best of album, so let's just, try and, as so many bands do, let's just try and recreate one of our previously really popular songs and see if we can just cash in on a new one. It's not that at all. However, it does gain a lot of the things that were so credible in those earlier songs. Now, notably, it has the incredibly catchy chorus of Love Trip. It also has that sort of jangly energy, the sort of liveliness that Love Trip had, but at the same time it's a little bit more playful with its sound in the same way Love in Tokyo was. So this is a much more complete sounding song. It's a song that goes through your traditional sort of verse, chorus, bridge, chorus vibe, but it does it with a real sense that they're really writing that simpler pop rock style, but with an extra degree of maturity. One thing that really showed that to me was, I always say that I like a song with a good bridge, because a bridge can make or break a song. This was an interesting one. It went through a little melodic bit, it changed a bit, and as it came into the final chorus, as they led up to the final chorus, she started singing the chorus, but with a double-time guitar line underneath. Little things like that, little things like having the double-time guitar chord changes underneath to stop it sounding settling, to move it too quick before the band comes in and everything settles back into that sort of much more anthemic chorus chord pattern that we're used to hearing by that point, obviously being the third chorus. This was a song that really felt like every little moment was intelligent. Pre-choruses that built into the chorus with a nice flow. Just everything moved here with a sense of a band who had a lot that they wanted to put in, had a good song that they had written, and it was not just let's blast out 4 chords and hope that we get ourselves a chart hit. It was a song that felt well crafted. And that again goes back to what makes those earlier songs sound so good. They're not just strummy, nothing to say. They're songs that, for all of the cutesy innocence and the names of things like Love and Baby in, they're songs that actually do have real core writing and structure at their core. And again, as much as I like to have diverse emotions in a song, I must admit that it was really great to hear the joy in the voices here, to hear the joy come back, and that was very nicely presented in the video as well. You had, again, a colourful video, kind of reminds you of the sort of Love in the Tokyo, lots of colours again, but here, really playing to their personalities. The little side thing of them going around spying on other people's relationships and stuff like that, and reading gossip magazines with holes in them, and weirdly dating a skeleton for no reason. It was all just so joyful, and yet it felt effortless. It didn't feel like a band who some director said, I've got a really crazy idea, I want you guys to be in it, and they went, oh, okay. It felt like a band who really can just enjoy this kind of video, make the most of it. It felt like the video was amplifying what we know they're like, the kind of joyful personalities. And so in a way, perhaps this sort of song is working so well for Peggies because it's kind of perhaps true to who they are. I don't know them personally, but it feels much truer to who they are when we hear this kind of thing from them. So the video really beautifully did that as well. The joy on their faces was utterly infectious. Seeing them just bouncing around, having the time of their lives, kind of more amplifies the fact that we can say from this, well, obviously they're not like going on hiatus because they're disgruntled. I don't know, is one of them pregnant or something? Or hopefully one of them isn't ill, but you know, I don't know the reason. I didn't find that out, but I must say that they looked like a band having the time of their lives, and that is really beautiful. Again, if you're going to leave on a high note, and this to me was great. I just felt that that worked, the presentation, the colourful video, it was a joy. It was the sort of thing that once I played it once, I couldn't help replaying it, and it got stuck in my head, which is what a great single should do. And at its core, that's the interesting thing. This is a great single. This is a really good single. For an industry that has a lot of sort of MOR, middle of the road style rock in the charts, this could do really well. Now, I haven't checked how it's charted. I hope that it's well marketed, and I hope it does well. If anything, maybe to convince them to come back from their hiatus as soon as physically possible. It is that kind of track where you think, you know, for a band who are going on hiatus, this could be something that really blows up and does well for them. Maybe not. You know, you can have great songs that don't blow up, but this feels like it is the right song in the right time, with the right band performing with the right personality, that it could be that. Well, fly went in my mouth. Yeah. Yeah. Tissue. Ugh. Been trying to get rid of that fly. Didn't think I'd do it in my own gob. Anyway, it's a great single. Should we do the conclusion now? So in conclusion, this is kind of what I wanted to hear from the Peggies. It didn't feel like a regression. It felt like going back to what seems to be at their core, seems to work for them, but also bringing the maturity that they had, bringing the extra sounds, knowing how to layer the sound a bit better, hearing the percussion with just a little bit more extra things going on inside. There was just a feeling that this was a song that was constructed down to the chord pattern, to the longer progression, to the use of pre-choruses, to the interesting bridge that takes you through a full journey from the second chorus round into the last chorus, quickly and concisely, but with a real sense of direction and thought and care. It was complete. It was them, it was true to them, and it was complete. And I really hope that this song does well and brings the Peggies back to us. And with a presentation of a video that fun, I think it would be an absolute crime if it didn't. But even if it doesn't, it will leave us with a damn good memory, maybe forever, or maybe until they come back. So those are my thoughts. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you think. And you know, feel free to go and as long as there's nothing serious going on with them. If you can't work out why they're on hiatus, go and remind them to come back. Go see them on tour. And until I hopefully see you very soon for the next one of these videos, for now, ciao, ciao.